Old MacDonald had a farm. But right across the yard on the other side of the pond, old Mr. Johnson had some slaves. And the E-I-O that you heard was the sound of my ancestors screaming in pain. And the oink you heard was the pig being slain so that the big boss could eat like a king and the niggas could have it remain. So what's the lesson? We didn't get the top or the sides or even the belly. We had to eat the intestines. And you want to question how we survived? It's because we're survivors with God's blessings. So yes, while old MacDonald was raising animals and probably had healthy foods like broccoli and cantaloupes, we ate the part made for digestion. And we stayed together, couldn't get married, so we had to elope and jump over the broom that we used to sweep up old Mr. McDonald and Mr. Johnson's floors. But we just swept that under the rug because we knew that soon that God was going to trouble the water. And combined with the light from the moon, we will one day be free. And this will all just be a song that children sang in school like, old MacDonald had a farm. E-I-E-I-O. But on Mr. Johnson's plantation, we die slow. See, we all knew that at some point the plantation had to evolve, that some form of inclusion had to be put in the law. So, nah, you supposedly could not make us slaves anymore, but nobody said you couldn't segregate us and call us out our names anymore. It meant that the Emancipation Proclamation was signed by Abraham Lincoln, who supposedly hated slavery, even though his wife's family owned them anyway. And all these years later, I used my Lincoln navigation and my navigator and combined to aggregate them to take me back to the land that was taken from the original Americans that were native, so I can plant my feet on what used to be plantations where old MacDonald and Mr. Johnson put their animals away in the stable and shared unwilling black women, which was the original race relations. Or maybe we push all that to the side and say, at least I'm not physically in chains anymore, that you don't whip me across my back and leave me in pain anymore, like the memories of what happened ain't in our brains anymore, and the scars from what happened don't remain anymore. That don't mean that my grandfather ain't have to stand out in the rain anymore while he took them on their horse and buggy rides and wouldn't even let him come inside. And now Mr. Johnson parlayed all his takings and created powder for babies' backsides. And McDonald's, well, that sold billions worldwide. But back on that farm, old McDonald served us memories of vows, but the ones that were left out were A and U. But see, sometimes I ask, why did they name a country after Americo Vespucci when there's so many other sisters and brothers of colors that you could have chosen from? But that's how it looks when the thief becomes the chosen one. So one more time, old MacDonald has the jobs. So DEI must go, because when we get in positions, it must be that we only qualify because of the connections we made, not because we deserve it, not because our education and grades. And now, though even though old MacDonald don't have a farm no more where he can look across and see the slaves, new Mr. McDonald still has a bunch of employees that's underpaid. But no one questions who made that special sauce that people crave. I'm telling you, it came from us being mixed in between thousands of islands of people with thousands of different names. So the land of the free became the grave of the braves, and all the black people became gray, and we don't even have a race anymore. And we are written about so negatively that the pen don't relay us any grace anymore. Listen, old MacDonald stopped being a farmer when it stopped being profitable. Now he invests in real estates, and Johnson is in all the hospitals. Old MacDonald changed his name to small corporations, and him and the Johnsons live comfortably. You ever wonder why Johnson & Johnson is a SC company? What you think the SC stands for? Anyway, old McDonald is still the sidekick that keeps us in the place, and Johnson still targets the people that don't look like him to make America great again. So it's up to the EIO that made us average to a minimum of a 3.0 grain point average, and let our education overcome their ignorance and all the history that's become revisionist. Then sing this song again with a twist that goes like this. Old black heroes wore their scars. People know. And even though those times was hard, we still stayed in the fight. Everybody from Clarissa Shields to Muhammad Ali and Iron Mike. This is what iron sharpens iron looks like. And while I'm in position, I need everybody to listen that old MacDonald wouldn't have had no farm without our men's animal instinct and our women's intuition. So shout out to the underprivileged. It's giving, something different. It's giving greatness for us. Yeah, we don't need your farm. We don't need your song. We just need to be one. Then old Mr. Johnson and old MacDonald will sing King Kong and realize that ain't nobody got nothing on us. Boom.